Sometimes I'm with a family right as a loved one dies, or maybe right after they've died. That's hard. And depending on the situation, if it was expected or not, can really shape how people respond at that moment. Sometimes it can be quite calm and still, and there's just kind of a gentle cry that happens. Or else on the other end of the spectrum, it can be just great sobbing and weeping and mourning. Sometimes things can be quite peaceful and still. Other times they can seem quite frantic as people scramble, still hoping that there's something they might be able to do. In both those cases, at some point there normally comes this quiet. Almost like a blanket being laid down on top of someone, just this quiet, where there's nothing left to say. And even raising your voice above a whisper just seems wrong in that moment. That's today. That's Saturday of Holy Week. On Thursday, Jesus is arrested. On Friday, he's brought to Pilate and crucified. They lay his body in the tomb, and then Saturday comes. The Bible only records two things about this Saturday. Just briefly, it says this, that the chief priests are worried someone will steal the body of Jesus and pretend that he is risen, so they go to Pilate asking that it be protected somehow. And he agrees to have a guard placed there. The other thing it says is this, as it describes what the disciples did. It says, on the Sabbath, they rested according to the commandment. That's it. It's all the Bible records for us about this day, this holy Saturday. One of the things that surprises me about grief is how exhausting it is. What are you grieving right now? I think people are grieving a lot of different things. Maybe you're grieving something that has to be postponed. Maybe you're grieving having to postpone a birthday party or an anniversary or perhaps even a wedding. Maybe you're grieving the loss of a job or the loss of some income. Maybe you're grieving the loss of some of your retirement fund or a trip that you had planned. Maybe you're grieving because your kids are missing school or you're trying to teach them from home, but it's hard. You might be grieving all sorts of different things. And so on this day, on this holy Saturday, I want to encourage you to do something. I want to encourage you to take a Sabbath. A Sabbath is a day of rest, a day of resting from those things that you would normally otherwise do. Psalm 46:10 says this, "Be still and know that I am God." Friends, I'm giving you the authority to declare a Sabbath, to take a Sabbath, a rest, a break from what you would normally do. If someone comes to you and asks you to do something for them, I encourage you just to whisper back at them, Sabbath. Maybe they won't even know what that means, but my guess is they might give you a bit of space. I encourage you to take a Sabbath from trying to have it all together, a Sabbath from trying to entertain your kids 24/7, a Sabbath from whatever it is that's on your plate right now. I encourage you to take a Sabbath, a rest, a break, and to know that God is still God, and that God still loves you, and that God is still with you, and that God is still good. Just to wrap yourself in those thoughts and quiet down and rest.